Hello snowboarders of the internet, I am your host TC, and today I will be reviewing the Rome Stale Crewzer, or Stale Crewzer. You know what? You guys let me know what you guys call it down in the comments below. If you're interested in picking this board up or any other of the products that I mentioned in this video, make sure you go down in the description there, click those affiliate links, and that way you know you're getting whatever you're looking for from a reputable dealer. This board is equipped with Rome's Fusion camber profile. So what that means is you're gonna have camber pretty much all the way to the tip or to the nose and to the tail, with a little bit of rocker on that nose and tail. So what that's gonna do is that camber section is gonna give you all that pop, power, and drive you're looking for, and that rocker section is gonna give you a little bit extra float in that fresh powder, and it's gonna make it a little bit more maneuverable in and out of turns. The Stale Crewzer is offered in a 151, 154, 157, 160, 158 wide, 161 wide, and a 164 wide for the big dogs. I rode this board at Copper Mountain where we got a few inches of snow the night before, nothing too crazy where I couldn't truly call it a pow day, just pretty much enough to cover everything and really just cover those smooth groomers up. The sun tried to poke out that day, but it was pretty unsuccessful. We might have gotten just a glimmer of it, but it was purely hope at that point. It stayed pretty mellow all day, honestly. There were very minimal push piles, very few people there. It was just one of those great days that we had the mountain to ourselves. I used my Ride Fuse boots and my Jones Mercury phase bindings. When we're talking overall flex on this board, it is coming in at stiffer than the middle of the road, but not by a whole lot, I would say. This board definitely wants to flex pretty much right where that camber meets the rocker zone there. Even though you do have a hot rod in the nose and in the tail, that's where it still really wants to flex. It's not that much softer or softer at all in between the feet. And when you do torsionally flex this board, you'll notice it feels very similar to that overall flex of the board. And as we start talking about how stable this thing is, you'll notice it is going to be on that lively side. Even though they do have impact plates underneath your feet here, it's still going to have a little bit of vibration action going on. Nothing crazy, nothing that you're like, oh my god, this thing is going to chatter apart on me. It's totally fine there. You're just gonna notice it kind of feels a little bit more reactive out there, but still, you can just charge on this thing. Even though there were those minimal push piles, I was able to just go straight through them with zero problems whatsoever. It just wanted to charge right through it. And that nose actually isn't as chattery as I really expected. Just based on riding the other Rome boards this year, I thought this thing might have a little bit extra chatter to it, but it's the actual opposite, where it feels a little bit more damp and a little bit more stable than the other ones that I have ridden so far. When I loaded this thing up to ollie off a side hit and rollers, I noticed instantly this thing goes to the moon. Even though you only have one hot rod in the tail, it doesn't matter. This thing really wants to just pop. So loading it up felt nice and easy. I wasn't working too hard, really having to shift everything back and exaggerate that motion. It just wanted to ollie. So when I loaded it up, it had an amazing snap to it and just popped instantly. And it felt really good on those landings. Even though we only had a couple inches of snow, there was some firmness underneath that. It held really well. Like I could set this edge and still keep cruising even through the less than ideal conditions. When I did find enough powder to hit like a pow jump, it actually floated extremely well, like way better than I thought. I landed bolts and I expected this nose to take a dive on me. It did not. It just wanted to stay up above that snow, which made it feel extremely forgiving and actually really awesome. And the same goes for when you take it off of jumps. It felt good when you either ollie yourself or you let the lip do the work. You want to keep it mellow, keep it cruisy, feeling great, let the lip do the work. You want to go hard and just go to the moon, pop this thing and you will. The only thing I will say about when you do pop it, make sure you're not coming in too hot, because when you do load this tail up and you pop, you might overshoot the landing. I did it once, learned right after that, don't do that again. Come in a little bit slower next time if I'm gonna pop, and it's gonna just handle it, no problems whatsoever. And like I've said before, this board will handle big jumps. So just if you're comfortable on them, feel free to go for it. If you're not comfortable on them, just keep them to the jumps that you are comfortable on. You'll have fun on really any size with this board. While I have you here, you might as well like, subscribe, click that bell, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of our scheduled programming. When I was buttering on the tail and on the nose, I noticed I really had to shift my weight on this thing. Even though there is some rocker in it, it wasn't as forgiving as I thought it would be, where I shifted this weight back and really had to lean back on it to get that nose up, to get it to butter. It will pop out still on the tail and the nose. Just make sure that you are really putting in that extra effort, otherwise they might be some of the worst presses out there. So keep that in mind. And the same goes for when you're jibbing this thing. Right in between the feet, totally fine. It'll board slide for you. It's not super stiff in between your feet. But as you work your way out to that tail for tail presses or the nose for nose presses, you're gonna realize that you're gonna have to put in extra work there, where I barely got it off the ledge and the rail there on both those tail and nose presses. You could probably slide like a credit card under it. But hey, I'm not the best jibber out there and I'm not gonna claim to be. So just keep that in mind. Maybe not the most forgiving or the easiest board to jib and butter on, but I mean, hey, it makes up for it on those jumps and those side hits. So, you know, you're a jump side hit guy right here. I had zero issues carving on this board. It didn't matter where I had my weight, if I had it in the front, if I had it in the back, if I just kept it right in the middle. This thing hit every carve with zero issues. It felt extremely fast edge to edge on those short, quick carves. So when you're approaching a rail, dodging fat skiers out there, you can do that, no problems. On those medium and those large carves, there is no speed limit. I didn't feel any speed limit whatsoever, even though it is on the more lively side. It's still crazy stable and it's gonna hold through all of those. And yes, it will Euro carve. You can keep that weight centered, you could shift it back a little bit. You got a little bit of room to play with on this board where it wants to hold an edge well. So don't be afraid to just lay it down, press some pickle, and get that elbow down to the ground for a big old Euro carve. Rider in mind. It is for that advanced rider that really wants to go everywhere and not have to change their board, whether they're gonna go find some POW, go hit some jumps, hit some rails, just hit some cruisy groomers, anything and everything is what you're pretty much gonna be doing on this board. And it definitely helps if you have a little bit higher skill set as well, just because if you're not paying attention, it can definitely kick your ass. If you're looking for another way to get involved in the Angry Snowboarder community, head on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. What is it, you might ask? Sure, I could explain it here, but why waste your time when we have a great video over there getting into it really in depth. I really love this board. The second I got on this thing to the second I got off it, I was like, I could ride this board all day, every day, doesn't matter. And as I was writing my review about this board, I was thinking, I was like, man, this just feels so similar. Like, I'm just so used to this board. What is it? I had my Team Manifest by K2 out and I put them next to each other, and it is almost a spitting image of the K2 Team Manifest, where same side cut, same tail, almost the same exact board. So Chilton, I see what you did there, and I love what you did there. But this board was just so much fun. It's like a board that I'm super familiar with, where it feels like I've been riding this thing for a while. I absolutely loved it. I would totally daily drive this thing with zero problems. Hell, it could even be my test board for next year with how much I actually like this thing, but who knows? It was truly awesome. One of the best boards that I've gotten on so far this season, but hey, I got a whole bunch more to do, and you guys will see that when you check out all of our reviews. Comparable boards: the Bataleon Beyond Metals, the Ride Algorhythm, and the Salomon Assassin Pro. Recommended bindings: the Rome Katana, the Jones Mercury, and the Union Force. And as always, guys, I've been your host TC, and this has been my review of the Rome Stale Crewzer. If this just sounds like a perfect board to you like it was to me, why don't you go check out one of the videos for the recommended bindings.